All right, so, we're diving into these Holland America brochures for 2025 and 2026, and wow, you weren't kidding. These are some pretty incredible trips.
Yeah, it's really something. I mean, what really strikes me is how they're really going beyond just your typical cruise experience. It's more about like really connecting with the destination,
Hmm.
whether that's like you said Hawaii or Tahiti or even venturing out to Alaska and Australia.
Okay, so let's unpack these a bit. And let's start with Hawaii and Tahiti. I mean, come on,
Mhm.
those are like the classic picture-perfect escapes, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
The brochures highlight those classic round-trip voyages from San Diego, hitting all the iconic Hawaiian islands. But then they've got this curveball. They're offering a 35-day voyage that includes the Marquesas Islands, which is pretty unique.
Yeah, that's really interesting, right? You don't see that very often, especially not on like your typical cruise itinerary. So
Yeah.
Holland America is like really tapping into this desire for something different, like less traveled destinations, a deeper dive into Polynesian culture.
Totally. And to get to Hawaii, they have this incredible option. You can sail all the way from Alaska.
Oh, wow.
It's a 28-day journey tracing that glaciers and volcanoes route. That's like once in a lifetime, I think.
It really is. I mean, that's a perfect example of what I was talking about. It's that journey, right? It's not just about, getting off the ship and seeing the sights. It's about the whole experience, the transformation. I mean, can you imagine
Yeah.
going from those icy glaciers of Alaska to the lush volcanic landscapes of Hawaii?
Yeah, talk about a change of scenery, right? And speaking of diverse landscapes, let's jump over to Europe because they've really got something for everyone there. Cruising through the Norwegian fjords, soaking up the sun in the Mediterranean, or even venturing into the Baltic Sea to visit those Scandinavian capitals.
And what I find fascinating about their European itineraries is how they kind of like juxtapose the old world with the new. Like you'll have a visit to ancient ruins one day, and then you're in like Barcelona, a super modern city, the next. It's a great way to experience like the full story of a region.
Right. It's like getting the best of both worlds. And speaking of history buffs, their Canada and New England cruises for 2025 sound incredible. Strolling past lighthouses, exploring those charming towns, diving into the history of the region. I'm picturing like from Boston all the way up to Newfoundland.
And get this, they've even included Greenland and Iceland on one of those itineraries. So you go from like colonial America, right, to these incredible stark natural landscapes. What a contrast.
Amazing. And now, get this. You've given me two brochures just for Alaska. The Last Frontier definitely has a certain pull, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Holland America is smart actually to have two separate brochures because it acknowledges that people want different things from an Alaskan experience.
Hmm.
Some people are all about that classic cruise, while others, they want to really get out there, explore, go deeper.
Exactly. And that's what this first brochure really focuses on. It's all about those cruise tours. They're combining a traditional cruise with an extended land tour, so you get the best of both worlds, and you can like really delve into the heart of Alaska.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Thinking Denali National Park, maybe riding the White Pass and Yukon Route Railroad.
No, that's a trip back in time. That railway was essential during the Klondike Gold Rush. And just imagine, riding those rails, seeing those same incredible views. It really connects you to that history.
It does. It makes it so real. And then we've got this other Alaska brochure, and this one focuses on what they call their quote unquote ultimate cruise experience. And they highlight several different itineraries, but the one that really jumps out at me is this 28-day journey that follows the Arctic Circle during the summer solstice.
Wow, now that's something else. You don't see that every day, even amongst luxury cruises.
Hmm.
It shows you that Holland America is really willing to kind of push the boundaries and create something truly unique and special.
Imagine witnessing the midnight sun, exploring those remote villages nestled along the coast, and who knows, maybe even spotting a polar bear or walrus along the way. Now, that's what I call unforgettable.
It's true, and it speaks to this growing trend in travel, right?
Yeah.
People want those bragging rights, those you did what
Hmm.
moments. But it's more than that. It's about seeking out experiences that are, you know, truly extraordinary and adventurous.
It's about pushing your own boundaries, too. Okay, so we've explored the wilds of Alaska. Now let's head down under. Australia and New Zealand. Those brochures are just filled with like vibrant coral reefs, dramatic fjords. It's breathtaking.
Yeah, and what's great is that,
Yeah.
they're offering two distinct ways to experience that part of the world. So you can choose a dedicated Australia and New Zealand itinerary, maybe 14 days, focused on those iconic landmarks like the Great Barrier Reef and Milford Sound.
Which makes sense if you want to really like immerse yourself in each country.
Yeah.
No need to rush those experiences.
Exactly, yeah. But if you're the type who loves to island hop, they've got you covered too with this 27-day South Pacific crossing. This one hits Australia and New Zealand, but then it goes on to places like Fiji and Numia.
Oh, I love that. Imagine, swimming in those crystal clear waters, exploring lush rainforests, and then experiencing those Polynesian cultures. It's that perfect blend of like adventure and relaxation.
And by offering both,
Yep.
right, they're showing a deep understanding of what travelers want. Some people crave that really focused, in-depth exploration, while others, they want that variety, that excitement of like hopping from one amazing place to the next.
And speaking of excitement, before we get totally carried away dreaming about these incredible destinations, let's talk about something that makes these trips even sweeter. Because let's face it, who doesn't love a good deal? And these brochures, they've got this limited time offer that's pretty hard to resist.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that, because incentives like that can really make a difference, especially in a market like the cruise industry where there's a lot of competition.
Oh, absolutely. So here's the deal. If you book by October 7th, you can get up to $500 per person in onboard spending money.
Wow. Okay, that's significant.
Right. And we're talking like spa treatments, specialty dining, those unique shore excursions. The possibilities are kind of endless.
So it's like free money to enhance your trip even more, and that's on top of the already amazing experience of the cruise itself. That's smart.
It is, and it gets better. On top of that, they're throwing in crew appreciation credits, a beverage package, and up to $300 per person in excursion credit.
Wow, so they're really adding a lot of value with this offer.
Yeah.
That's a great incentive for people to book now.
Absolutely, and it just makes that decision, that much easier. So to wrap it up, Holland America is pulling out all the stops for 2025 and 2026. These itineraries are incredible, the destinations are amazing, and with this limited time offer, it's tempting.
It seems like they're really targeting that traveler who's looking for something more than just, a typical cruise experience. These itineraries are designed for people who want to really immerse themselves in the destination, experience new cultures, and create memories that will last a lifetime.
Looking at these South Pacific itineraries, I'm really drawn to them, those turquoise waters, idyllic islands, and the vibrant cultures. It's like, this stuff dreams. But there's so much packed in, like, where do you even begin?
Well, the brochures do a really good job of highlighting those key destinations, the ones that really capture what the South Pacific is all about. Like, for example, they have this incredible opportunity to explore both the North and South Islands of New Zealand. And we're not just talking quick port calls here.
Yeah, I noticed that, right? They have some overnight stays built in Wellington, New Zealand, which is fantastic because that gives you a chance to really experience the city, soak up the local vibes. I've heard amazing things about their coffee culture and, of course, the lamb. World famous.
Oh, absolutely. And for anyone who loves wildlife, those Australian itineraries, they include stops along the Great Barrier Reef. Can you imagine snorkeling amongst those vibrant coral reefs, swimming with sea turtles, maybe even spotting a reef shark or two?
Okay, now that's a bucket list experience right there. Although, I'll be honest, I might admire those reef sharks from a safe distance, maybe a glass-bottom boat or something. But I did notice they included some lesser-known destinations as well. Noumea and Fiji's Dravuni Island, which caught my eye.
That's the mark of a well-designed itinerary, right? It's about finding that balance between those must-see landmarks and those hidden gems that offer a more authentic experience, something a little more off the beaten path.
For sure. And Noumea, the capital of New Caledonia, it just sounds so intriguing. It's got this unique blend of French influence, right? But then set against these stunning beaches and this incredible underwater world. It's like a little slice of the French Riviera in the South Pacific, which is wow.
And then you've got Dravuni Island in Fiji, which is this tiny island, part of the remote Moala Islands, and it's supposed to be like this glimpse into traditional Fijian life. Pristine beaches, crystal clear waters, and, that legendary Fijian hospitality.
Sounds like the perfect place to kind of disconnect from the world, unwind, and embrace a slower pace of life for a little bit. All right, let's shift gears for a moment and head back up north to Alaska. We talked about those cruise tours earlier, but I want to dig a little deeper into some of the specific experiences they offer.
Well, no trip to Alaska is complete without experiencing Denali National Park and Preserve. And these cruise tours, they really give you ample time to immerse yourself in that vast wilderness. We're talking 6 million acres of breathtaking scenery, from those towering mountains to the sprawling glaciers and the endless tundra.
And the wildlife. Denali is known for its incredible biodiversity. Grizzly bears, caribou, wolves, Dall sheep, you name it. It's a nature lover's paradise.
It really is. And here's a fun fact. One of the highlights of those cruise tours is the opportunity to ride the historic White Pass and Yukon Route Railroad. This narrow-gauge railroad, completed in 1900, it winds its way through these rugged mountains, past waterfalls, glaciers, and those historic trestles. It's incredible.
It's like stepping back in time to the Klondike Gold Rush. You can practically envision those prospectors, making their way to seek their fortune.
Speaking of which, the cruise tours also include a visit to Dawson City, the heart of the Klondike Gold Rush. And today, you can explore those beautifully preserved historic buildings, maybe even try your hand at panning for gold, or even catch a show at the Palace Grand Theater, which is a beautifully restored Gold Rush-era theater.
Wow. It's amazing that you can still experience that history so vividly. Now, for those who prefer to experience Alaska from the water, let's talk about those ultimate cruise itineraries. Specifically, that 28-day journey that traces the Arctic Circle during the summer solstice.
That itinerary is truly remarkable. I mean, Holland America is really committed to showcasing the best of Alaska's natural wonders, and it all starts with a journey through the iconic Inside Passage.
Right, those towering fjords, the lush rainforests, and of course the wildlife.
Exactly. Whales, dolphins, porpoises, seals, you never know what you might see. And as you head further north, you'll reach the awe-inspiring Hubbard Glacier, one of the most active tidewater glaciers in Alaska. Just imagine witnessing this colossal river of ice as it calves into the sea. It's a humbling experience, to say the least.
I bet it is. It's like nature's power on full display. And of course, we can't forget about those quintessential Alaskan ports of call, Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan. Each one offers its own unique blend of history, culture, and outdoor adventure.
Skagway especially is like a step back in time. This meticulously preserved gold rush town. I mean, you can almost hear those saloon doors swinging.
Right. And there's so much to do in those towns and the surrounding areas. Hiking, kayaking, even dog sledding.
Oh, and Juneau, the capital of Alaska, is surrounded by those majestic mountains and forests and glaciers. It's breathtaking. You can go whale watching, visit the Mendenhall Glacier, or ride the Mount Roberts Tramway for panoramic views of the city.
And then there's Ketchikan, salmon capital of the world, famous for its waterfront, its Native American heritage, and of course, all that delicious salmon.
Be sure to check out the Totem Heritage Center while you're there. And the Misty Fjords National Monument is absolutely breathtaking.
These ports of call, they're not just stops along the way. They offer a real glimpse into the heart and soul of Alaska.
They really do. And that's probably why Holland America offers those shorter itineraries as well, for people who might be short on time but still want to experience Alaska.
Right, like a little taste of Alaska. They have that 7-day Alaskan Explorer and that 7-day Alaska Inside Passage cruise.
Exactly. Those shorter itineraries are perfect for first-time visitors or those looking for a more condensed Alaskan adventure. You still get to experience the Inside Passage, see the glaciers, and visit those charming towns all within a week.
Exactly. And no matter which Alaskan itinerary you choose, you still get to enjoy Holland America's signature onboard amenities and entertainment, which are pretty fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the key thing to keep in mind when you're choosing a cruise line. They all offer something unique, and Holland America is known for its elegance, personalized service, and those fantastic enrichment programs.
Now you're speaking my language, because for me, half the fun of a cruise is, indulging in those little luxuries, the onboard experiences that make it extra special. And it sounds like Holland America really knows how to do that well. And speaking of making things special, let's circle back to that limited time offer because, those perks are pretty hard to resist.
Yeah, absolutely. And, taking advantage of those perks can really, really enhance your trip, especially if you're smart about it.
Okay, so give us the insider tips. How do we maximize those benefits? What should we be looking out for?
Well, first off, pay close attention to those onboard spending credits because remember, they increase based on the length of your cruise. So if you're on the fence between, say, a shorter trip and a longer one, that extra onboard cash might just be the thing that tips the scales.
Oh, totally, because it's like having guilt-free money to spend on, spa treatments or those amazing specialty dining experiences, maybe even an extra shore excursion or two.
Exactly. And don't forget about those crew appreciation credits because those go directly to the hardworking folks who make your cruise so enjoyable. The room stewards, the dining staff, everyone who makes it run smoothly.
Right, it's a great way to show them some love, and hey, a free drink is always a good thing, am I right? That beverage package is a game changer, especially for someone like me who enjoys a cocktail or two while sailing.
Exactly. And for those who are all about maximizing their time in port, that $300 excursion credit is huge. That gives you the freedom to splurge on some truly memorable experiences like, I don't know, maybe a helicopter ride over a glacier or a private tour of some historical site.
Now you're talking, because at the end of the day, it's about those memories, right? The ones that stick with you long after you're back home.
Absolutely, those unique, unforgettable moments. And remember, this offer is only good until October 7th. So if those Holland America itineraries have you itching to travel, well, now's the time to act.
Don't miss the boat. Or I guess, in this case, don't miss the ship.
Right. So as we wrap up our deep dive into these amazing itineraries, the big question is, which adventure calls to you?
Will you find yourself sipping cocktails on a beach in Tahiti, surrounded by those incredible blue waters? Or maybe you'll be hiking through the Alaskan wilderness, feeling that sense of awe and wonder. Or perhaps it's the vibrant cultures and stunning landscapes of Australia and New Zealand that are calling your name.
That's the beauty of it all, right? These itineraries offer so many possibilities, each one carefully designed for different types of travelers.
So, as we leave you today, let your imagination run wild. Picture yourself on that ship, the salty air on your face, that feeling of excitement and anticipation. What adventures await you on the horizon? That's the magic of travel, isn't it? That promise of discovery, the thrill of new experiences. It's out there waiting for you. And with Holland America's incredible range of itineraries, well, there's a perfect voyage for everyone.
Absolutely. The only question is, where will your journey take you?